At Newland Engineering in Manchester, they work together like a family. They've been making conveyor belts since the 60s. This one will go to Djibouti, but they also sell inside the EU. So what role Britain plays within a future Europe is important here.
If we could remain as members, but with less of the red tape, more flexibility to do some of our own legislation and not be controlled by Brussels, I think that would be an ideal scenario.
David Cameron wants to stay inside the EU family, but is looking to overhaul Britain's relationship with it. So what is he pressing for? His proposed reforms include restricting benefits for up to 4 years for EU migrants arriving in Britain, and to be able to opt out of the EU's drive to pursue an ever closer union across Europe. Plus, he wants to put a stop to the financial regulation which some believe is strangling business in Britain. David Cameron goes to Brussels already under pressure, with his critics saying he's asking for too little. In Brussels, though, they may say he's asking for too much. Afterwards, he'll face the challenge of trying to sell the deal to the British public, many of who are still undecided about which way they'll vote in an in or an out referendum. The idea of one of Europe's biggest economies potentially going it alone has prompted questions about what an EU without Britain or a Britain without the EU might look like.
Really what's at stake, I suppose, is this sovereignty issue, the clash of individual nations' interests and that of the wider European Union. And that's where Cameron's coming up against resistance, because there are countries, particularly those of the East, that are saying, well, actually, we don't want to water down the rights of our citizens who perhaps are migrating to places like Britain.
These talks will undoubtedly be tense and could help pave the future direction of the entire EU. Back at Newlands, they're getting ready to send stock abroad, not knowing if the path ahead will run quite so smoothly if Britain is taken down a different track. Emma Hayward, Al Jazeera in Manchester.